Yo, what is happening, ladies and gentlemen? We are back here with Game 4 statistics and analysis of the New York Knicks and Cleveland Cavaliers series. The New York Knicks have won the Eastern Conference. They are your Eastern Conference champions. The MVP goes to Jalen Brunson. But I felt like the MVP honestly should have went to the entire team. Because the game the Knicks are playing is simply team basketball. It's not just one guy. They are all moving the ball around. They're trusting in each other's talents. And it's the fact that they're able to do that. There's no one-man team, no 30-point games. It's just everyone working together as a team. And that's the Knicks' entire identity. And I'm glad that they're able to get that identity together. You have the Knicks gear on. I am a Knicks fan, you guys. And, I think a lot of people may call me annoying, but hey, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm from New York. Repping the Knicks. Love them. A grueling series. Another sweep for the New York Knicks. They have won 11 straight games. Their last loss was against the Atlanta Hawks in that Game 3. And it's just crazy, insane, because ever since we've seen Rick Brunson yelling at Jalen Brunson from the bench and they started getting into it, that was a turning point for the New York Knicks. They started to hit shots, they started to do everything, and they started to trust in each other more. So I'm really glad that the Knicks were able to get that together. The Cleveland Cavaliers are out of the playoffs. Now, let's get into the stats. So let's roll the intro.
Touch that tram. Mama said pray then push. Pop said grind on wish. Coach said line up run. Whole life drawn up off that pitch. Court chalk on my socks. Bus pass in my sock too. Lunch card in my pocket. Pocket dreams that I walk through. Crossover on the clear lane. Try to cross over my fear same. Every brick that I threw up built the backbone of my name.
We run the floor. We run the floor. We don't back down. We don't back down. Every fall that we felt, put the strength in us now. Heads to the sky, heads to the sky. Voices in one sound.
Final score was 130-93. Another win in the fourth quarter where the Knicks have reached at least 130 or 120. And it's just been a blowout every time. But like we said, the Knicks were playing team basketball. Karl-Anthony Towns with 19 points, 14 rebounds. He's been getting the boards. He's been trying to score. And they're all just relying in each other's talents. Landry Shamet, who actually played 19 minutes, had 16 points. With Landry Shamet, he's just so clutch. He hits three-pointer after three-pointer after three-pointer. And he can hit those all day. He's confident in his shot. And I'm glad that Mike Brown as well is putting him in the game and giving him burn so he can have the confidence in himself to be able to shoot the three ball. Because if you remember last year with Tom Thibodeau only played like 6 or 7 guys at a time. And 5 of those are being your starters. So Mike Brown came in and completely changed the rotation of the New York Knicks. And that's exactly how they're able to pull through. So now you don't have everyone working as hard as they need to be, especially Jalen Brunson, who that one season averaged like at least 30, 40 a game. He doesn't need to do that anymore. Now he has help. He has so many other weapons he can rely on. Speaking of Jalen Brunson, he had 15 points, 5 assists. He's been doing the passing game lately. Not everything has been open, and sometimes he doesn't shoot the ball well. But if he can rely on his teammates, his life is so much easier. Shout out OG Anunoby, who was dealing with an injury last series with his hamstring. He's all better now. He's dunking the ball, getting the boards. He knows what he's doing, and he can do what he can do. And another reason why the Knicks are winning this is because they are getting so many offensive rebounds. Offensive rebounds has been the key, and who's been great at that? You got OG Anunoby doing that, and also you got Mitchell Robinson doing that, who he had 10 rebounds a game. And he's been doing his thing. He had 10 rebounds in Game 4. So he knows how to get those offensive rebounds. And that's exactly how the Knicks are winning, because they're getting those second chance points, and they're getting points off turnovers and points off the fast break. They're moving the ball up. They don't want to just wait for the offense to set. Everyone is just running, getting the ball in, getting the layups, and that's fast break points. The easiest points, and the Knicks are using that to their advantage. But the New York Knicks have been on a roll this year, winning 11 straight games. This is the second sweep in a series that they did this year. Last series was Philadelphia. Now this series it was the Cavaliers, who has been pretty much mentally broken. And speaking of the Cavaliers, let's get into them real quick. Because given the fact that the Cavs were mentally broken after that Game 1, after losing from 22, it hurt them, because You know, the Knicks have been there before in the Indiana series when Aaron Nesmith hit those 3-pointers and then Tyrese Halliburton bop, bang, shot went in, and then stuff like that, little stuff like that, it gets to you mentally. And we knew that we got Cleveland mentally by the way they walked back. The way they walked back to the locker room after game one, after losing that 22-point lead, you could tell by their body language and by the way they were walking that it was over for them. The mental game in basketball is the biggest thing. It's not just your physical health, but it's your mental health. How can you come back from something so disappointing? And Cleveland didn't do that. They let it get to them mentally. And even though they did start out on fire, it lasted for like 3 minutes. And then that's when the Knicks just jumped on them. Donovan Mitchell, 31 points playing 32 minutes. He balled out. What else can you do? He has one more year left with the Cavs. And he doesn't even know if he wants to come back yet. Because what is the Cavs doing for him besides getting out in the second round and then embarrassing yourself in the conference finals? What can you really do? One more year left, and we're going to see what he's going to do. Either he can come back home to New York, or he's going to have to find somewhere else to play. And it's tough for him, because Evan Mobley, only 15 points. That's not enough. James Harden as well. James Harden, they traded for him, for Darius Garland. They thought they needed another scorer. At the beginning, it looked like it was going to work, because the first game after the trade, the Cavaliers blew the Knicks out. And it looked like it was going to be a really tough matchup if the Knicks had to face them in the finals. But unfortunately, James Harden did not have a good series. This game, only 12 points. Jarrett Allen, also not much from the big man. He only had 6 points. And if you look at all the plays, he's just been behind. There was that one play with Karl Anthony Towns where Karl Anthony Towns was ran right to the rim and just dunked the ball. No box out in sight. That's what you need to do as a big man. You got to box out. You can't be late. You got to be the first one there. You got to be the first one to box out. Because when you know you're going against a team who's really good at offensive rebounds, you can't let that slide. If that slides, they're going to get every offensive rebound, every points on the break, every turnover points, you name it. And that's exactly what the Knicks did to them. From field goal percentage, the Cavaliers only shot 41%. 27% from 3. 27%. The Cavaliers, they're a pretty good 3-point shooting team. But in this game in particular, it didn't happen. They were trying their hardest to keep their series alive. But when you're down 3-0, it's 0-164. Nobody came back from 3-0 before. And that's a mental game. It's a mental game that everyone in the league goes through. When you're down 3-0, it's not easy to come back. And we all know it. If I was down 3-0, we knew that we're not coming back from that. It's tough. But it's a mental game. You can't get it to you mentally. You got to focus on a game at a time. But it's not easy to do. Anyways, y'all, that's the statistical analysis for Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The New York Knicks are your Eastern Conference champions. Jalen Brunson is the Eastern Conference MVP of the Bob Cousy Trophy. And the Knicks are heading to the finals for the first time since 1999. The Knicks are trying to end the championship drought. Last time they won the championship was 1973, when Walt Clyde Frazier and them were still relevant. But anyways, y'all, that's all I gotta say. Knicks fans, talk to me in the comments about the Knicks making the finals for the first time since 99. Anyways, y'all, that's all I gotta say. God loves you. Jesus is king. Peace out.